guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary and high school age. If you're not subscribed, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified of all of my future videos. Today we are going to be chatting all about passion projects and how that kind of works in our homeschool. So let's get started. Okay guys, so I've had a lot of questions recently about passion projects and how we figure out what passion projects our kids should be working on. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And that all kind of comes from the fact that we have a passion project focused day built into our week. It is a day where we lighten up on the mom school, as I call it, and I try to let my kids have a lot of time to focus on the things that they are passionate about. And the reason that I do this is partly so that they can have educational autonomy. I want them to be learning the things that they are interested in learning about. We have always taken kind of a delight-directed approach to learning. Yes, we use curriculum. We are literature-based homeschoolers, but within that curriculum, I've always allowed a lot of space for other interests. And I think that that's really important. We want to give our kids a love of learning. And so having these passion project focused days is very helpful. And then outside of our passion project day, we have been doing a 6 weeks on, 1 week off ish type schedule for the past few years. And that 1 week off is more a week off for mom school, for all of the homeschool that I focus on. And instead, I am focusing on my own goals and passion projects and home management things that I kind of push off when we're head down in homeschool. And it gives my kids a chance to really deep dive on the things that they are passionate about. So that's how we've been working passion projects for the past several years. And this is more for my middle school and high school level kids. When my kids are in elementary, the passion project is play. It often can also be handcrafts, it can be KiwiCo boxes. In the elementary years, let's start there. In the elementary years, what I like to do is include my kids in the things that I love to do. And so I do that a couple of different ways. Number one, I will do what is called strewing. And if I can find some articles about strewing, I will leave those linked in the description box. But essentially what it is, taking a few supplies, either craft supplies or books or notebooks or yarn or really anything, and putting it on the table so that when your kids wake up in the morning, they see these new resources that they get to go through and figure out what they're going to do with them. It is never something where I say you have to do this thing. It is just an option. And so if the kids see the stuff, most of the time they are interested in playing with the stuff and figuring out how to use the things that are left out. And so that is kind of the first part, that's strewing. The second part is inviting them to do the things that I enjoy. And so when my kids were younger, I love knitting. So I would show my kids how to knit, and they all did finger knitting for quite a while. Emma's the only one that's done knitting, but if Lucy decides she wants to try knitting with needles, she can certainly do that. I don't know how to crochet, so I can't really help her with that. Other things, sewing. Emma's done a lot of sewing. Lucy's done hand stitching, cross stitch. I love all those handcraft things, but the same thing goes for baking and cooking and involving your kids in all of those different activities, going for walks, going out in nature. I mean, whatever the thing is that you enjoy, invite your kids to do that with you. That doesn't mean that they are going to love all of the things that you love, but it's going to expose them to different interests, and they will be able to figure out if they enjoy that thing and want to continue pursuing it, or if it's not for them and they want to do something else. It just helps give them some ideas. And so those are 2 ways in the elementary years that I use to help my kids start finding interests. And then the third thing that I do is I will look into subscription boxes. And over the years, we have done a lot of the KiwiCo crates. Absolutely love them. They have so many different box options. So you could really do a number of different boxes to expose your child to all kinds of different ideas. And these boxes are actually great through like the toddler years through high school. My older kids love the engineering and the art boxes, and Lucy loves the yummy boxes and the atlas crates. So there are a lot of options from KiwiCo if you want to take a subscription box route. There are a lot of other subscription boxes available. Radish Kids is a great one if your child is interested in cooking or baking. So is the Yummy Crate from KiwiCo. And then there are a lot of awesome science related boxes from Mel Science. I will leave all of these linked in the description box, but subscription boxes are a great way, to occupy your kids when you need to have something for them to do. But it's also a great way to expose them to new ideas and new topics of interest and see if it's something that may stick with them. Doesn't mean if they choose an interest in elementary school, it's going to follow them all the way to high school. It's just a way to expose them to new things. And that's what homeschooling is all about. We have the freedom to do this, so we should take advantage of it. So that's kind of the elementary years. I'm more encouraging my kids to just play. I think for 2 years in a row, Lucy made slime almost every day. All kinds of different slimes. We would just buy gallon jugs of clear glue and white glue and shaving cream and glitter and other little beads and things. And she just constantly made slime, and that occupies her time, and she loves it, and it gives her hands a good workout, and it keeps her occupied. So I think that's great. And she started doing that, I guess, when she was 7, I think is when 7.5 maybe, when she started doing that. And she's really good about keeping things clean and putting things away and keeping the slime for a long time. So lots of options. You don't have to be scared of a mess. If you're scared of a mess, put down a sheet or like a plastic tablecloth underneath your table and just let them go to town. Okay, so then for middle school, when my kids start to get to like 5th grade, I start to sit down with them and talk a lot more about their interests and the things that they enjoy doing. And I'm also observing them a lot. And one of the ways that we have used to kind of see what the kids may be interested in is to have them create vision boards. Vision boards are, you just paste a bunch of pictures of things that you want to focus on in the year ahead. And so pretty much every January for many years, except for this past year, we didn't do it this past year, but for many years we have done vision boards where the kids will sit down and just write a bunch of things. They will paste pictures, they will find pictures on the internet, and I will print them out, and they'll just glue them onto a big piece of poster board and then write a little bit about why they put that specific thing on the poster board. And that helps me to see the things that they are interested in. So for instance, many years ago, Emma put learning Spanish on her vision board. And so she took 3 years of Spanish in high school. And that was kind of going through and figuring out what she really wanted to do. And learning that language was one of the things that she wanted to do. So she did that. Same thing with Jack and Japanese. He's put learn Japanese on his vision board for many years. He's in his 2nd year of Japanese now, and I'm glad that he put it on when it was a long time ago, because it took me many years to figure out what kind of a Japanese curriculum we could use and would want to use with him. It's Japanese from Zero, if you're interested. That is the program that we're using, and he loves it. But that was another idea that he put on his vision board that I wouldn't have necessarily said, oh, how about you learn Japanese? Other things that he's put are Unreal Engine, Blender, video game design, music production, piano. All of these things are things that he has put on a vision board in the past couple of years, or they have been things that he has talked to me about, because I'm constantly asking, oh, do you need new resources? Oh, what are you working on? Oh, is this something that you're interested in? Do you want to do something different? I'm in constant communication with my kids, and I am constantly observing them. And so even if they don't necessarily have the words to describe what they're interested in, if I see them gravitating towards a specific thing, I will Google what are some fun hands-on projects to do within X. And that can be everything from video games. Jack loves video games, and so he creates video games. We don't just allow him to have free reign of the Switch, but he is able to kind of have free reign of coding programs and making his own games and being creative in that way. The same thing with Emma. She loves art and drawing. And so when she is doodling, I say, oh, well, that would be fun if you made those into stickers, or maybe we should try this class, or maybe you would like to do X. You know, it's really about observing your kids. If you are observing your kids, you will start to recognize the things that they gravitate towards, and then you can make that into a learning experience. I think sometimes what happens as we, as parents, as homeschool parents, are looking specifically at subjects and not necessarily at just interests, broad interests. And instead of trying to look at English, science, history, math, let's step outside of the box and consider how we can make this particular interest into some sort of learning for your child. And so that's very similar to unschooling or delight directed learning, in my opinion. I always feel like unschooling is much more labor intensive for the parent, because your child may have an interest, but they don't know where to find the resources, and so they rely on you to find those resources. I don't necessarily consider us unschoolers, but delight directed, definitely. I want to make sure that I am finding the tools that my kids need to foster those interests, because I see these interests as eventually becoming career paths for my kids. So Emma loves graphic design. She loves writing. She's participated in NaNoWriMo for the past several years. All of my kids do. We all participate as a family. Jack loves video games. He loves creating video. He loves animation. Those are the types of things that he's interested in. And so I find tools and classes and resources to further their skills in those particular areas, because I can see them wanting to do these things in the future. And so what I would say is, if you are starting to think about passion projects, just sit down with your kids. It doesn't have to be an interview style. It can be, here are a bunch of magazines and we're all going to work together on a collage of what we think is really cool. What are the things that you are interested in? Put those down on this big poster board and let's see what we can find from these vision boards. And so that's really how I work our passion projects. It's not super in depth in the fact that I am sitting down with a checklist and my kids and asking them specific questions. It is more about me observing them, me recognizing when they're speaking about specific things. If I hear the passion in their voice, the things that they want to talk to me about, I know that they are passionate about those things. And so I want to foster growth in those areas. Some of the resources that we use in order to do that are Skillshare, Unreal Engine, Blender, the Adobe Creative Cloud, KiwiCo crates, Radish Kids boxes, lots of YouTube videos, the library, of course. You do not have to go out and spend a lot of money when you're first introducing new interests to your kids. Instead, look for some fun documentaries about something that they are interested in. It could be video game design, it could be writing short stories, it could be writing novels, it could be baking, animation, all of those types of things. There's a lot of free resources available. Your children's library is a great option for younger elementary age kids. If you have a children's librarian, they are always so helpful to find resources. Or let you know where you can find the resources if they don't have it available in that specific library. So definitely check free resources first. And then also, don't be afraid to include your kids in your own interests. Show them that you are following your own passions by setting goals, by demonstrating to them that you are taking time for the things that you value doing. It's not just about fostering your kids' passion projects. It's also demonstrating that you are pursuing your own passions. So that's kind of a rough outline of passion projects in our homeschool. I hope that this was helpful for you. If you have questions, please let me know in the comments, or you can come over and check out my membership community. I love to chat about all of this stuff over there, and that is always available in the description box as well. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.